Welcome to Gene's Reviews, where I basically do whatever the hell I want. Hello again, everybody. I'm in my car with another scary video, hopefully. This is from the channel Bill Knows. It's 15 scary videos of strange and creepy things caught on camera. Let's check it out.
Scary videos are a dime a dozen on the internet, but there are some creepy videos that just send shivers down your spine because they show something so unexplainable and disturbing that they seem to stay with you for a long time after you've watched them. Number 15. In 2017, the family-friendly CRONIES restaurant situated in California had been happily operating for 27 years without any sign of paranormal activity. But when the general manager checked security footage one day, he noticed something scary that had been caught on camera. In this creepy footage, the restaurant seems quite busy, with customers enjoying their meals at several of the tables. One table of 4 is seated close to the camera, chatting away and seemingly having a good time when something inexplicable catches their attention. At the table next to them, a chair suddenly moves on its own, its front legs lifting off the ground for a second before settling back down again. It's clear that there's no one nearby, and one woman from the adjacent table immediately notices. She gets up from her chair and walks over, moving the chair back to check what's going on, but she's clearly left baffled, even after inspecting the chair. One of the senior staff members stated that a similar incident occurred about 2 weeks earlier, when a bar stool was caught on camera falling over after the restaurant had been closed for the night. He also added that they're in the habit of taking photos of deceased customers on the restaurant's walls,
pretty legit to me.
Since these are the first haunting incidents
it would be easy to be fake,
27 years, it seems that one of their customers may never have left. Number 14. In 2020, a man was filming the city from his balcony in Miami, Florida, when he captured this eerie footage that no one has been able to explain.
There's been a lot of these, especially lately. Seems like it's the government starting to show this stuff now.
It looks like a light in the sky, and it could be anything, but that soon changes. The man films around the area to show other buildings and clear skies around him, and then focuses back on the light, which now has several other lights accompanying it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are now
6 lights in the sky,
6, yeah.
One of which is larger than the other 5. In the next few seconds, each of the lights take a turn in shooting off into the sky and disappearing, leaving only the one brightest light hanging over the city. But it too quickly flies off at an impossible speed, leaving the man in complete disbelief as he mutters, "Oh wait, bye." Some people have speculated that the lights were part of a single craft that split into multiple smaller craft before zooming off into space, while others think it was a formation of UFOs that were flying tightly together before splitting up in different directions.
Oh, wait, bye.
It could be
Number
one
13.
connected and then it just splits off. Sounds logical to me.
A scary video that was uploaded to TikTok shows the terrifying moment when something or someone starts making banging noises in a couple's attic. A man who's about to investigate does his best to keep his female companion quiet, but she's so terrified that she finds it impossible not to speak. He uses a hook to lower the attic stairs and, unbelievably, climbs to the top to see what could be causing the noise, even though he's clearly shaken. He peers into the darkness before descending the stairs again, and it would seem that he was unable to spot anything out of the ordinary, which makes sense since there's no light in the attic at all.
Yeah.
But as he reaches the bottom of the stairs, with his back still turned to the attic's entrance, something inexplicable appears above him. Luckily for the man, he's been spared the sight of a creepy white face that has emerged from the darkness to peer down.
Yeah, the mouth.
The head has a strange oblong shape, and the creature's eyes seem to reflect the camera's light, making it seem as though they're glowing, making this scary video even more terrifying. We're also able to catch a glimpse of its shoulders, which have the same pale appearance as its face.
I don't notice
suggesting that it certainly
I see the mouth.
As the eerie video comes to an end, the woman seems to draw her partner's attention to what she just saw, and he looks back at the dark attic in disbelief.
That is pretty
12.
creepy.
Scary videos
looks like some kind of a reptile.
worse when it's obvious that the person involved is truly terrified, as is the case in the following creepy footage.
Oh no. Lights swinging. There go the lights. What next? It's gonna go into the kitchen or the... Yeah, all the drawers are open. Oh my goodness.
A woman is filming in her house, where something has clearly already happened since she's breathing heavily and muttering under her breath out of fear. She's filming her kitchen from her lounge and quickly pans around the room before making her way to her bedroom. But as she reaches it, a banging sound can be heard coming from behind her, and she quickly spins around in terror. Suddenly, a light on the ceiling starts to swing back and forth, while the kitchen light switches off before it starts flickering. She stands completely petrified as she watches the kitchen light repeatedly turn on and off in quick succession, before mustering up the courage to move forward towards the kitchen. She pauses outside the kitchen for a moment before quickly dashing in, but she finds that there's no one there. She does notice, however, that a cabinet and a set of drawers that were closed before are now inexplicably open. She reaches out and closes the cabinet, but decides to back out of the room without closing the drawers. She moves back into the lounge, still breathing heavily, before receiving another fright when the drawers can be heard closing out of sight. Next, the kitchen lights turn off again, and she starts to inch her way closer once more. But she's about to receive her worst shock yet, as a dark figure leans out from the kitchen, and she screams as the terrifying footage ends.
Okay, well, I didn't see it.
Number 11.
Maybe when I edit it and brighten it up, I'll see it. I didn't see it.
Inspiring. But when one man was filming over the ocean in Cornwall, England, he captured more than he had bargained for. The footage shows a peaceful-looking sky at sunset, but it includes something that seems out of place. From the right of the screen, a glowing light can be seen moving across the horizon before coming to a stop above the ocean. Here, it hovers motionlessly for some time as if it's observing its surroundings. The next section of the clip shows the object moving directly upward at speeds that we can only dream of before flying through the clouds and out of sight. Many commenters on the scary video pointed out that there's no man-made craft that can reach the speeds that the object does in the video, and many are convinced that the man managed to capture extraterrestrial craft
I really believe it is.
Whether it's truly of extraterrestrial origin or not, it certainly is baffling, and since no plausible explanation has been found to explain the strange footage,
it's so interesting.
An unsolved mystery that will very likely never be solved. Number 10. Doing homework as a child was an arduous task.
This is an old one. I've seen this a bunch of times.
Homework time became a terrifying moment, as we can see in this scary video.
Yep. I was thinking like air, compressed air or something, but no, that's not air. It's not going to do that.
In this security footage from 2016, the girl is standing by a table, writing on a sheet of paper. She seems engrossed in her work and seems to be concentrating hard until she's disturbed by something very strange indeed. Two sheets of paper that are lying a short distance away on the table suddenly begin to move, with one sheet lifting from the table as if a breeze has disturbed it. The second sheet slides across the surface before coming to a rest. The girl looks up, confused, and as soon as she realizes what she saw, she runs away from the table to safety. But she soon returns, which she soon regrets, as the same pieces of paper start to move again. This time more violently, and it becomes apparent that this activity is not being caused by a mere breeze as they fall to the floor. The girl looks on, horrified, but she bolts out of the room again. But the strange activity doesn't stop there.
Well, I'm not
Just
a
few
debunker.
Seconds later, an object
But
on the
I
far edge of
don't
the
know how
table
that
is
could have
thrown
been
to
done.
the floor by an invisible force, followed by her pencil case, which is then thrown from the table onto the couch. It then slides down and crashes to the floor. Next, another object slides across the table before it gets even creepier.
And then the table
as the table
moves.
is slowly moved towards the couch, as if something is trying to break it apart. The girl doesn't return, and I can't say I blame her in the least.
Yeah, I don't know on that.
Flash is on. Alright, let's take a look.
What do you think's in there?
I don't know. I guess nothing.
Sometimes the most terrifying videos are those where the person filming isn't aware of the creepy activity going on around them until they review the footage and, to their shock, find that they were just a short distance away from true horror. This terrifying footage, which was captured via a cell phone, shows two friends exploring an old abandoned building. One man can be heard making sure that the camera's flash is on before they decide to film through a locked doorway, and he can be heard saying, "All right, let's take a look." As he raises the camera to an opening in the wooden door, his friend asks, "What do you think is in there?" To which the first man replies, "I don't know." As he aims the camera through the opening, we can see that there's an old hallway on the other side of the door. He films the hall for a few seconds before lowering the camera again, saying, "I guess nothing." But unbeknownst to him, he captured something truly scary. Off in the distance, a pale figure can be seen peering out of the darkness, its eyes lit up by the camera's flash. It must have been a terrifying moment when the two men reviewed the creepy footage to learn that something was aware of their presence while they were none the wiser. Number 8. Next, we venture into the wilderness to look at a scary video of a creature that many people believe to be the elusive Bigfoot.
Get in the house. Get in the house.
Well, if it really wants to get you, it can go in your house. But I think they just want to be left alone, personally. What are you following it for? Cornering it?
As the video starts, a man is running into the woods while telling someone off screen to get back into the house.
That looks pretty
He
legit to
rushes
me.
through a set of bushes and makes his way to a small clearing where he stops to film with more stability. But not finding what he was looking for, he runs a little further into the wooded area until he spots a creature in the thick brush. He can be heard muttering under his breath, clearly being very cautious of whatever is out there. When he finally comes to a stop, we can see what has caused his anxiety, as a large, dark creature can be seen walking through the trees on its hind legs. The man steps to his right to try and get a better view of the creature, but it remains hidden behind the trees as it moves off and disappears into the forest. The creature doesn't look like a bear, as it's walking on its hind legs with ease, and to be honest, it doesn't seem to be too perturbed by the man who's filming.
It's Neanderthal.
Number 7. I can imagine very few things that are more terrifying than hearing someone calling your name while you're completely alone, as the woman in this next scary video found out while cleaning her house one day.
Cleaning down here in the basement by myself, and I just hit record because I was in this room. I just finished washing the floor here, and I was in this room. I just finished washing the floor here, and I just finished washing the floor here, and
I heard something.
The woman explains that she'd been cleaning her basement, and she had just finished washing the floor when something strange happened. She adds that she was in the next room where she does laundry when she decided to make a recording, and we can see a washing machine in the adjacent room. But before she can explain what it was that interrupted her cleaning, a voice can be heard whispering, "Kathy, can you hear me?" causing her to stop mid-sentence out of shock as she whispers, "What was that?" From the camera angles in the recording, it's clear to see that she's completely alone in the room.
Yeah.
And it's anybody's guess where this whispering may have come from. The voice is, however, clear as day, and if I were Kathy, I'd find a new house to move into as soon as possible.
Probably nothing malevolent,
Number
though.
6. This next creepy video is utterly terrifying, as it shows a ghost or other unseen hand actually touching someone.
Yeah, I've seen this one too.
A security camera that's been set up in a woman's bedroom shows her rocking her baby on her hip, showing the baby one of its toys, but something is going on behind her that defies explanation.
Sheet's getting a
Unbeknownst
boner.
to her, a sheet that's lying on the bed starts to lift up on its own before settling down again. And maybe it's a good thing that she didn't notice, but things are about to get a whole lot creepier. A few moments later, her son walks into the room and has a conversation with her as she throws the baby's toy onto a nearby surface.
Goes her hair.
But as she does so, her ponytail starts to lift into the air in the same way as the bedsheet did. And at first, neither the boy nor his mom notice. That is, until the boy turns and sees what's happening and lets out a terrifying scream. He points at her hair and the woman starts to flail at the air and the back of her head to try and chill off whatever's attacking her. The boy quickly runs out of the room as the woman
have to
can
have
hear her
something
yelling,
up
"What's
above."
happening?" The video ends with her hair still being pulled, and I'll admit, this one gave me some serious chills.
Yeah, that's creepy. That's really creepy.
Number 5. We now go to Russia, where we see a woman engaged in her household chores, but she's about to have a very scary experience. The woman walks over to a shelf where she arranges a few objects, but behind her, a black towel that's lying on the floor beside a laundry basket starts to rise up without explanation. She doesn't notice as the towel drops to the floor again, but she turns around and she's clearly annoyed as she picks it up and places it into the basket. In the next creepy clip, the same woman walks down the hallway toward her bathroom. She switches the hallway light on before opening the bathroom door, where she's greeted with a horrifying sight. The same towel from the first clip is floating in mid-air, and the woman shouts as she grabs it to throw it on the floor. As if that isn't enough, the scary video gets even worse when a tennis ball can be seen rolling across the floor before being thrown in the air, despite there being no one near it. She then decides to conduct an experiment and places a cup of flour on the floor. Shortly after putting the flour on the floor, something disturbs it, as if they walked right over it. She then decides to repeat the experiment with a cup containing more flour. Almost immediately after leaving the area, the cup is pushed over and the flour spills out onto the floor. Next, the security camera captures the bathroom door being taken off its hinges and thrown to the ground, before a book on a cabinet is also thrown onto the floor. One of the remaining books remains open on the cabinet, but one of its pages starts to fold by itself before the book snaps shut. Lastly, a dish that's been placed on the floor
Man, that
starts
would
to
take
spin
so much
around
work
with
to fake
other
that.
objects around it, remaining perfectly still. Number 4.
That's something
Imagine
else.
talking to a family member, only to realize that they were in another room the entire time.
No, that was freezing. Yeah.
This is what happened to one man in England, and he was left utterly shocked by the experience. The man can be seen sitting next to the family's Christmas tree as he works on his computer, and a few seconds in, the house's front door opens. He can be heard asking someone to close the door because it's freezing. The door then closes and he returns to concentrate on his computer. Inexplicably, he then continued to have a conversation with someone who's clearly not there, saying, "Yeah, she got them out of the freezer earlier for you. She put them in the fridge." Unbelievably, the fridge door opens as if someone is checking on what he just said, though the man seems unfazed. He then complains that the fridge has been open for too long and it closes by itself.
Hey, fridge, freezing. Freeze me that way, freeze me this way. Bloody hell.
He gets the shock of his life a few seconds later when his daughter walks into the room to ask him who he was talking to, and he replies, "You," with a confused expression on his face. He then exclaims that it was the best doppelganger that he's ever seen.
You just come in the door. Oh my God. Oh, hold on 1 second. My heart's going. Come in the door.
He goes on to explain to his daughter that he had just seen her walk into the front room, open the fridge, and recalls the conversation that he had with her, noting that she was wearing her yellow jacket. He's visibly shaken and realizes that the camera was rolling at the time, and the scary video ends as his daughter approaches the camera to review the footage.
Wow.
Number 3. Imagine
These
the
are some
joy
good
of watching your
videos on
child
this one.
play with one of their toys, only to have it turn into a nightmare when one of those toys starts to move of its own accord.
Hi, Zoe. You played a nice game. You've been in here for ages. What game you playing? Families. Oh, that's cute. So who's that one then? Who's the little pink koala? Oh, Maya. That's so cute. And what about the other one? Oh, he's lovely. All right, darling. I'll let you carry on and play. Good girl.
In this creepy clip, a mom is filming her daughter doing just that, as she plays with some of her stuffed toys on her bed. The mom approaches and says, "You're playing a nice game. You've been in here for ages." She continues to talk to her daughter, asking what game she's playing and what the toys are called, but while this is going on, something sinister is happening in the background. Unbeknownst to either of them, one of the dolls that's been left on the pillow starts to move its hand, as if it's patting the pillow that it's sitting on. This goes on for a few seconds until the mom turns and leaves the room. Maybe it's a good thing that neither of them seem to notice the scary activity, but it must have been
And it has
quite
to be the
scary to notice
creepiest
it
looking
upon
doll,
reviewing the
too.
footage. All I know is that I'd get rid of that doll in a flash
Yeah,
if it
I
belonged to
probably
my
would.
child or was brought anywhere near my house. Number 2. Another terrifying scenario is when paranormal activity takes place while someone is asleep and completely vulnerable, which is exactly what happened to the man in this next creepy video. The first sign of activity comes a few minutes into the video when an orb can be seen passing through the room. As it passes by the sleeping man, it seems to disturb him as he starts to move his arms sleepily at the very moment that it reaches him. However, he seems not to notice and tries to go back to sleep. He lies silently for a while longer, unaware that a shadow has started to emerge in the hall to the left of the screen, and it grows exponentially within mere seconds, to the point where it can be seen against the wall behind him, though he still doesn't notice. In the next moment, the shadow seems to make its way to the camera, which then quickly switches off for a split second.
I've done this channel before.
This
I don't really
causes
care
the man
for
to
it.
take notice, and he jerks his head up to look around, but there's nothing to be seen. He looks around the room, decides all is well, and lays his head back on his pillow, and goes back to sleep, blissfully unaware of what had just happened.
I think
right
he does
next to him.
everything for entertainment. I don't think it's
Number
real at
1.
all.
Churches are supposed to be considered places of worship and safety, but the church in this next scary video may just be the exception to that rule. As the clip starts, we can see an area of the church containing several lit candles and a star design on the floor. A few people can be seen moving around, and one man in particular seems to notice something strange as he passes by that area. He stops to look at something, and when the video is slowed down, we can see that a strange mist has formed in a little alcove to his right. As soon as he spots it, the mist seems to disappear again, and he continues to walk on despite what he had just witnessed. Some people have speculated that it may be an angel since the apparition appeared in a church, but others have used the same theory to hypothesize that it may just as likely be a demon caught on camera.
I don't think they'd want to be in a church.
Indeed, and one that I wouldn't want to come across anywhere, let alone in a church. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and
Well, that was a good video, I thought. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought. That's every once in a while you get one that's really not that bad, and I think that one was pretty entertaining. But now it's time for a joke. My grief counselor died recently. He was so good at his job, I really didn't give a shit. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hashtag Mean Gene, all that fun stuff. And if you like this video, tell all your friends, leave a comment down below. And if you didn't like it, then just shut up. And I will see you next time.